Alright, so we're just going to get into it with Lethal Lightning today. We do have a little bit of a podcast style video, which is something a little bit different of my channel. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, smash a like down below and be sure to follow Lethal Lightning on YouTube as well. We're going to start off by talking about the Star Wars community and everything Battlefront 2 as well. And then a little bit later in the video, we are going to dive into talking about Star Wars Rebels. So Lethal Lightning, how you doing today, man?
Not too shabby, mate. Seems like the weather's moved to your side of the country now.
Yeah, that's it. It's getting a bit warm out this side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk a little bit about Star Wars, the gaming world, and the TV series world as well. So hopefully you're ready for that.
I'm ready.
Awesome. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is just in general the Star Wars community. Everything to do with the new movies, the new games, and basically all the new content that we're getting. What are your thoughts on the reactions from the community? Because they have been few and far between. There's been a few that have been really good, but then there have also been some that are really negative. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's kind of fair on both sides of the fence. I mean, since Disney took over and the whole scrapping of Legends, that pissed a lot of people off. That kind of done my head in a bit, but I can see like the whole angle as to why they did it. So it's kind of hard to judge it. Like, there's some things I really like. Like, I thought Rogue One was a better story than the Legend story of stealing the Death Star plans. But I thought Last Jedi was absolutely terrible. Like, easily the worst in the series. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, so least favourite Star Wars movie was The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and I go to all the movies at midnight screenings, and I was sitting in that movie waiting for it to end.
Yeah, so just not a fan of the newer stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think of like the novels, like the Thrawn novel was good. The canon Darth Vader comics are absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best comics I've read in recent history.
Yeah, they are awesome.
And then they go into the miniseries as well. Like, I thought the Darth Maul miniseries was okay. And then you got the Phasma miniseries, which is better used as toilet paper.
Yeah, not so good.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel. I mean, it goes both ways. But then when you get to the games, I mean, well, since Disney, there's only been 2 games, so... Well, on console anyway, I mean, you got your phone games and all that.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard to say when there's only 2 mainstream games.
That's it, yeah. So, going back to the movies real quick, what did you think of The Force Awakens in comparison to The Last Jedi? Obviously, you're going to like The Force Awakens better, but, like, do you think it was much better or a little bit better?
Through the roof, you can't even compare the 2.
Yeah, cool. I thought that's what you'd say.
And I'm not even the biggest fan of The Force Awakens. I thought the first half of the movie was really good. And then I don't want to say it went downhill. I mean, just comparing it to the other ones I like, it's like,
Yeah, just dragged out a little bit.
Yeah, and when I walked out of the cinema, I was in love with it. But then as I slept on it, went into work the next day, I was like, you know what? Actually...
Comparing it to the originals,
Yeah.
it's sort of, it was missing something.
Whereas Last Jedi, as soon as the credits jumped up... Well, no, I always sit to the end of the credits because I always go with my cousin and we talk about it in the end credits and all that. But when it came up saying written, directed by Ryan Johnson and all that, I was like, let's just get out of here, man.
Yep, time to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, sweet. So, just switching over to the gaming community. Obviously, you and I play on PS4 a lot. And we play almost exclusively Heroes vs Villains when we're online. Being a part of the PS4 community, I know Facebook has a group for it where it's strictly PS4 players only. And
Yeah, I know the group.
Yeah, you were a part of it at one point. I'm still a part of it. Just give me some feedback on that group and your experiences with them and sort of, because I know you've had a few little run-ins on that group, so.
I don't want to say it's cancer. It's more of a Suki Wawa group. Like, they can never be happy. Like, I've seen screenshots after I left, they got sent to me just for like the lols, and it was talking about heroes and villains, and they were saying if you pick anyone that doesn't use a lightsaber, you might as well play Call of Duty. Like, what?
Yeah, no.
So you're telling me there's not a single iconic Star Wars character that only uses guns?
Yeah.
And okay, it's 4 against 4, and there's only 3 characters with lightsabers a team. So someone has to go to Call of Duty, yes. But yeah, pretty much I found like the team I play with, and then after that I was like, no, I'm done with this group, and they just can't be happy. No matter what happens, they just can't be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's almost the community as a whole in regards to Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's pretty much, it's not just necessarily like the PlayStation groups or anything. I think you're going to get that on Xbox and on PC as well. There's never going to be a whole group that's happy. Like, there's always going to be someone that has some sort of issue or something wrong.
It's just the issues they find are absolutely ridiculous. Like, back to that Call of Duty statement. Like, what? How? That's not a fair comment to make. But then again,
a little bit, yeah.
And you've seen what Reddit's like. Reddit is a minefield, man.
That was my next point. Yeah, Reddit can be absolutely horrible sometimes. Like, you work really hard for some good content and you post it on Reddit and you just get absolutely slaughtered in the comments. You get downvoted left and right, and it's really hard. Like, it's really demotivating sometimes when you're a content creator and you just want to get your stuff out there, but you're not going to get the exposure if you're not getting upvotes. So it's kind of difficult, especially on Reddit, because people don't want to see videos. People just want to complain on Reddit. Yes. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where I've really toned back my posting to Reddit because I just don't want to deal with the negative comments and things like that. So
yeah, that's true. But at the same time, what I use for like motivation is when I see like a negative comment, especially on like a Battlefront video, I'll use a Star Wars quote to pay them back out.
Yeah.
So they'll say, like, I don't want to watch this crap, so I'll say, move along, something like that.
Yeah, just sort of make fun with it.
Yeah, because they fire back, so you're like feeding the troll sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you just keep it going back and forth. But, you know, Reddit is like that on any group, not necessarily Star Wars. I mean, have a look at some of the comic book subreddits. Oh, boy.
Yeah, they get pretty crazy as well.
Oh, man, yeah, ridiculous. But, that's Reddit.
That is, and that's just part of the internet these days. There's always going to be trolls left, right, and centre, so...
Yes, and especially with something like Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is quite a controversy in itself. So, imagine all the arguments you can have there. You don't even have to start an argument and you'll be in an argument without even realising it.
Yeah, without even replying, you're already in an argument.
Yeah, that's it. The second you log on, it's on. Like, even if you look at like the top-rated posts, go through the comments, there are like in-house fights on those comments. It's awesome.
There's a lot of hate, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of them bring it upon themselves with some of the things they say.
They do. Hopefully it picks up with some new DLC content soon. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. But I feel like some of the negative comments are justified. Like, DICE and EA have kind of brought it upon themselves in a way.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this whole Luke skin situation that we got going on is just stupid. I'm trying to think of a stupider way to do it, and I'm struggling.
3 weeks to unlock a skin is a very
to unlock one skin. It's, you know, and I didn't play much Battlefront 1 on 2015. Is it true that this is just a recycled skin?
It's pretty much the exact same from 2015, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's taken 3 weeks to get that. How does that work? Is it like a delay, or...?
Is it just dragging it out until they get new content, or I don't know, but...
yeah, well...
I'm hoping we get more content in between the skins of Luke, Leia, and Han, because if we go the next 9 weeks and that's all that we get, it's going to be a big problem, especially with those communities that we were just talking about.
Yeah, exactly, man. How many of these people do you think are just going to walk away or even sell the game or something?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them would if they don't get some Clone Wars content soon.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I think, like, PC maybe might not be so bad because they got a lot of modders.
Yeah.
But still, you know, would you rather a mod or an actual character model in the game?
Exactly.
But that's kind of just what happens. Like I said, it seems like a lot of it is brought upon themselves, but man, some of the people in this community are atrocious. Could you imagine what the game would be like if it had voice chat?
Oh, it would be ridiculous. And that's probably part of the reason they kept it out.
Yeah. And Star Wars in general, you know, people are very passionate with Star Wars like you and me, and you can have it. I'm fine with having a debate with somebody about Star Wars. I'm more than happy to, you know, point, counterpoint and all that. Like, we can do it without yelling and swearing at each other. But some people can't, and Star Wars plus Star Wars Battlefront 2 can be a recipe for disaster.
It just gets out of hand, absolutely.
Yeah, like, look at the people that love The Last Jedi. That's their choice. I think they're insane. But, you know, I'm never going to say you should kill yourself because of that, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
a comment you do see.
Yeah, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Exactly,
at the end
yes.
of the day, so.
You can have your own opinion, and I'm happy to go back and forth with it, but some people are not so happy.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to move on and jump into some Star Wars Rebels talk. Obviously, with Season 4 wrapping up tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for us, today for everyone in the US. And Season 4 has had a lot of twists and turns so far. There's been some really cool stuff, and we're going into the season finale very, very soon. I'm really excited. Are you excited for it?
Oh, me too. Those last 2 episodes were insane.
The last 2 or 3 have been crazy. There's just so much going on. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going to happen post-Rebels, and possibly even what would happen in this next episode. So, my first question to you is, what do you think is going to happen to the Ghost crew, talking Sabine, Zeb, Ezra, Hera, after the events of the season finale?
Well, we do know for a fact that Hera is alive during the Battle of Endor, so she'll be alright. Chopper is seen in Rogue One, so we know he'll be okay up until then. Zeb's what I go back and forth with. I feel like if another character was going to die, it could possibly be Zeb or Sabine, but I feel Zeb, sorry. Zeb.
Sabine.
I think I just made like a weird ship, Sabine and Zeb.
Yeah.
Zeb, I think he's going to end up on that planet with his people that we saw in Season 2.
Yeah.
I think he's going to quit the game, yeah.
Yeah, he might just get out.
Yeah, Sabine, she could possibly die, but I'm more confident that if it was going to be someone to die, it would be Zeb and Ezra. Because I feel with Ezra and especially Ahsoka, 100% Ahsoka, there has to be a reason why they're not even mentioned in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Especially Ahsoka, because she knows for a fact that Vader is Anakin.
Yeah, she had a big part in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, so...
And in the Rebellion, Luke Skywalker is very famous because he destroyed the Death Star. Everybody knows him. So that name, Skywalker, gets around. So Ahsoka would be like...
If she knew he was in relation to Anakin, then surely she'd come out of the woodwork somewhere to meet up with Luke.
Yeah, and she'd be like, hey, your dad's a nutcase.
Yeah, just be like, oh yeah, your dad trained me, like...
Yeah. That's another thing. I find it weird Ahsoka didn't tell Ezra who Vader is.
Yeah, who knows?
Unless that is something to do with the next episode.
Yeah, definitely. And there has to be a reason that Ahsoka didn't die when she was fighting Vader, and why Ezra pulled her out of the portal. So
that's where time travel gets a bit icky, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I didn't think they were going to bring time travel into Star Wars, but they did.
It was in Legends, but not like this. This is some Back to the Future stuff.
Yeah.
I think if you asked anybody, would you like to see time travel in Star Wars, everyone would say no.
No.
But this was done really, really well.
It was. I like the whole concept behind the Jedi Temple being a connection.
Yeah, the world between worlds and all that.
Yeah.
But then again, you got to think, like, Ahsoka was created by Filoni. And now it's like he's made time travel canon so he can save his own character.
yeah, that's it. He does love Ahsoka, so...
Yeah, but, the world between worlds, I really liked it. There was a lot going on in there, and I think that's something that's going to be explored quite a bit more, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we get some more answers in the finale.
I don't think we'll get much to do with the world between worlds in the next episode of Rebels, but I can see it popping up somewhere. Most likely a novel.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, probably, is in a novel.
And who do you think's going to die?
Personally, I really think that obviously Ezra is going to die.
Yep.
My whole thoughts on that is basically we don't see him in any of the original trilogy stuff. There's no mention of him. Obviously, if you are a Jedi or even a Jedi in training like Ezra has been, there's going to be someone that knows about you in the original trilogy if you're alive.
Especially Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly. Because, obviously he's going to feel it in the Force if there's another Jedi around.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka may die as well in this last episode, or shortly following the events of the last episode, because there's no mention of her in the original trilogy.
Yeah, that's a good point. They don't have to die in this episode, but they do have to die before Rogue One.
Right, they would have to explain it somehow in a novel, like you said, or even in a mini-series or something, so...
Yeah, unless, they might pull something like Ahsoka's in the unknown regions.
Yeah, exactly. And that leads me into my next question for you. What do you think is going to happen to Grand Admiral Thrawn after Rebels? Because obviously there's no mention of him in the original trilogy either.
Yes, that's true.
So do you think he's going to be exploring the unknown regions? I saw one theory that someone said the Emperor would send him to look for Snoke, which was quite an interesting point. What are your thoughts on that?
I think not exactly to that degree, but yes, he is going to be in the unknown regions, and I think they're going to take a lot of inspiration from him in Legends, because him in Legends was exactly that. He came back from the unknown regions, and it was all destroyed. It was like, well, what's going on here? And that's when he brought about his whole, his whole trilogy that he had of books. And Jakku itself was like a jumping on point, like a refueling station type scenario to go from Jakku to explore the outer regions, or the unknown regions, sorry. So I feel like, yeah, it is possible that Palpatine could send Thrawn to go look for Snoke, because we do know for a fact that Palpatine could sense something really powerful in the unknown regions. Right,
dark force somewhere in the unknown regions, yeah.
Yes, but after seeing The Last Jedi, as of now, I've got a feeling that might not be Snoke, because I wouldn't describe him as something really powerful.
Yeah, after being taken down so easily.
Yeah, by someone who's reading your mind anyway. But I do think he is going to end up in the unknown regions. We do have a new Thrawn novel coming out this year as well.
Yes, very soon, yeah.
And I'm very excited for this. Very, very excited for that. There's also
I'm interested to see
the
what it
Thrawn.
is.
Yeah, me too. And we know we got Vader on it, so I'm sold right there.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't really know where to start with Thrawn, and you've missed his novel and you can't be bothered reading it, there is actually a comic book miniseries that's just started, and it's retelling the story. Yeah. And I did buy the first issue because I wanted to see how they did it, and they're telling the story very well. I thought they were going to rush it, but no, it's good, so that could be something to look out for.
Awesome. Yeah, good piece of advice for anyone looking to get into the miniseries.
Yeah, especially for Thrawn. But no, I don't think Thrawn's going to die. I think he's going to do quite a lot of damage in this next episode.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to personally kill anyone, but he's going to do some hardcore Sun Tzu stuff and get a lot of people destroyed.
Yeah, he's going to have a massive role in this next episode, that's for sure.
Yeah. I take that back. He's going to kill Price.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that happening.
He's going to kill her point blank.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool, because a fair chunk of the Thrawn novel focuses on her as well.
Yeah.
So that would be cool just to see him turn around and shoot her.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
But on the subject of his death, I don't know just yet. I don't think they're going to do what happened in Legends, where he was killed by his bodyguard.
Yeah.
Even though we've seen his bodyguard in Rebels make an appearance, I don't think it's going to play out the same.
Yeah, they might have changed that.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you reckon he's going to live?
I think he's going to live, and I think he's going to be, like we said, in the unknown regions, searching for something for a long piece of time.
Yeah,
But obviously, that's not all going to transpire during this episode of Rebels. So I don't think he will die in this episode, but possibly at some point in the future. Who knows? Maybe he'll anger Emperor Palpatine or something and he'll kill him. But I don't know. It's definitely up in the air at the moment. But yeah, it's interesting to see where it's going to go.
He could even go back to fight the Vong. I mean, that's unlikely, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see, but exciting times ahead, especially with this new episode of Rebels.
Yeah, that's it. And for anyone watching this video and that has made it all the way to the end, I will have a full breakdown of the season finale of Star Wars Rebels Season 4. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that. Yeah, something different. So I've been trying to mix it up lately with a few reaction videos and different things, and it's getting a lot of attention. So I'm going to start diving into that side of it on YouTube as well. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways, man, that's going to wrap it up for today. This video has gone quite long because it is so easy to talk with you about everything Star Wars. Also, anyone that has tuned in, be sure to join the Discord server. Myself and Lethal Lightning are in there, and a bunch of other awesome guys that talk about Star Wars. The link will be down in the description, and it's super easy to join in, and you can work your way up to ranking at Jedi Master in that group. So
great place, great community, everyone's friendly.
Absolutely, yep. And I just want to say a big thank you to you, Lethal, for tuning into the channel and being a part of this podcast today.
Thank you.
No, definitely. And anyone that does want to see another episode of this, we did have our first test episode on Lethal's channel, so I'll leave that down in the description for you guys to check out as well. Once again, just a huge thank you to Lethal Lightning for tuning into this podcast today and talking with me about everything Star Wars. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up down below, and I will also leave the link to Lethal Lightning's channel down in the description. He makes some awesome videos not just on Star Wars Battlefront 2, but Injustice and Monster Hunter World, and a bunch of other games as well. Now I want to know what you guys think of the upcoming season finale for Star Wars Rebels. What do you think is going to happen? Drop a comment down below, and I'm interested to hear what all of you think. Also, lastly, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for all future Star Wars content. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Twisted Jedi, and may the Force be with you.